Hello there, world of tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video I'll be playing what I consider to be the most overpowered tier 10 in the game. There are many vehicles which people try to argue about all the time are the best, the strongest, and I still will always say that the M6 is the dumbest tank in the game. Why? Well, it's because it features a double shot 450 alpha gun, which when penetrating both shells is able to deal 900 damage. Now, 900 damage on paper is not anything crazy. Every single autoloader in tier 10 basically does more than that. The 57 Heavy, the 50B, the Caro, the Progetto, the Kron, the 116 F3, all of them deal more damage. The reason this gun is so much better than the rest is because of the amount of time it takes to deal that damage, which is 1.7 seconds. That's it. 1.7 seconds, you deal 900 damage, and back in the cover. There's not a single other tier 10 which is even close to being that dangerous. And that is why the M6 will and will always be the dumbest tier 10. For some reason, Wargaming is hell-bent on not nerfing this vehicle's gun. So even today, it is still just as broken as it's ever been. 411, we loaded in a high explosive, that's 850 health, we took off that 4005. That player had no opportunity whatsoever to try and dodge that, and even if they had, it still wouldn't have changed anything. Now, to be fair, I'm not sure why the 4005 went there when they have zero team support, but, my bad. We gotta wait 3 seconds for my shells to come back. 3, 2, 1. We have the standard B right here, which we get a 540, and second shell did not pen. It went a little bit too low. But we're already up to 1700 damage, and we haven't even bled a single hit point. Let's head this way. Got the IS-8, got the 2 and 5B. Wonder if we can hit that 2 and 5B. Let's see. I'm going to reload. 3, 2, 1. Let's aim and load a gold shell to guarantee the pen. There's 1, there's 2. That's 900 health. Yep, that was 900 HP we took off that 2 and 5B. Again, how are they supposed to dodge that? They can't, because this tank is stupid. Well, we gotta wait 5 more seconds for our shells to come back. 3, 2, 1. And we have our shells. Okay, let's see if that Yo decides to poke. Interesting. We did get spotted, which leaves me inclined to believe that the Yo did poke. But at the same time, we have the 183 right in front of me, and I don't really care about the Yo. There's 469. There's 1,032. And just like that, we are up to 3,600 damage. Once again, as I've said many times, how do you counter that? I find it hilarious that people still drive the 183. When you can drive this tank and deal more damage than the 183 in the same amount of time. The Yo is poking, and we hatch them once, and we unfortunately do not hit the second hatch shot, but we're still over 4,000 damage at this point, which is pretty free. 2 and 5B bounces me. The other funny part about the Yo is it doesn't have bad DPM. It actually has pretty decent DPM. Even with the double shot, I'm sitting at around 2,600 because I'm running vents, just for the memes today. But, like, yeah, it's not like the DPM's bad on this thing. Oh, look, the 2 and 5B wants to poke. Well, there's 483, and they're out of the game. I could have killed them, especially with that tracking shot, but with our team doing the work for me, guess we're not able to. Alright, well, the only tank left at this point is the M6 Yo. And obviously I'm going to try and shoot the M6 Yo. We're just going to jump behind him here and reload. 3, 2, 1. Boom. 347 damage, and that puts me up to 5,000 in this game. This was one of the easiest 5Ks I've had of the whole month. Because, again, all you have to do is 5 clips. It's boom, boom, back in the cover, reload. Boom, boom. That's it. 5 times. And you're up to 5,000 damage. So we got a first class. We finished top on the team. What a shocker. And we go into our second battle. I don't understand why it's so hard for Wargaming to conjure up the common sense to nerf this vehicle's gun. The DPM is fine. It's not the DPM. It's 2,500 DPM. That's not the problem. The accuracy is fine. It doesn't need to be nerfed. It doesn't need to be changed. The accuracy is fine. The only problem with this gun is the intra-clip. All Wargaming has to do is increase the intra-clip to about 4 seconds, and in return, reduce the reload by about 3-ish seconds, right? Whatever they increase the intra-clip to, they should decrease from the overall reload. That's it. That's all they have to do, and congratulations, the Yo is now balanced. It would still be dangerous. 900 damage in 4 seconds would still allow this vehicle to be really dangerous, especially with 450 alpha. And then we're all happy. The problem right now is you just have so much damage in such a short amount of time. So we have the Progetto, and we have the Sheridan, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive right over. We're going to aim it on the Sheridan. There's 532. There's 959. That was a full, well, not a full health Sheridan, but a decently healthy Sheridan a second ago, and now it's dead. Also, welcome to the NA server, where every single player, their brother and their mother, YOLOs. Why did our 4005 think that was a good play? I don't know. What I do know is that I don't understand what's going on right now. That's what I do know. Foch is moving up. We have the T30 in the back. The Progetto is YOLOing our STB and does get the clear. I'm going to move up myself, aiming on the Prog. There's a 420, and there's 871. Yeah, once again, this tank just always gets the last laugh. 2 clips, 1,830 damage, and we back into cover. Interesting game. That's all I can say. An interesting battle just unraveled in front of us here. Not sure why our STB with 11 degrees of gun depression went to the most flat spot on the map. Not sure why the Sheridan with 10 degrees of gun depression went to the most flat spot on the map. I'm not really sure what any of this gameplay was here today, but what I do know is that we have a Kron in front of us, which we got 416 into, and if we didn't have our teammates clear him, I still would have gotten the second shell out and taken them out of the game. Okay, well, one more clip, we're over 3K. 10 more seconds for my reload, and we'll be totally fine. Kill 121. Well, how about you focus on not killing yourself in the 4005? Him professional. Yeah. Okay, dude. Oh, we got the T30 right here. Let's just put on our reticle Cali. Look, guys, a T30 with 1,300 health. Now look at the T30. And there you go, 3,100 damage dealt. That's it. That's all it takes. Every game is just brain dead. I always love when people are like, but actually the DPM gun is better. And, bro, if you're going to sit here and tell me that you'd rather have DPM than the ability to deal 900 damage in 1.7 seconds, you're living in a different planet. I mean, look at this 121B, right? We drive over the ridge, we deal 520, and before they can even get into cover, they're dead. Now, tell me that the triple shot would have been able to do that. Sure, the triple shot would have been able to kill the guy, but it's just so much easier for this gun to be able to rip out that damage. So we're over 4,000 now. There's only one tank left, which is the Moishan, who's on the other side of the map. So at this point, the only play that I have is obviously trying to get over there as fast as I can. And the other thing about the Yo is it's not even that slow. I'm not even running improved engine power boost or anything. And we're still able to go upwards of 30 kilometers per hour up this hill. We're going to aim it on the side of the Moishan. There's 391, and there's 739. Pretty big low roll. That was 160 damage less than our average, but still put us up to another 5,000 damage battle and another really easy victory. It's so dumb. It's so incredibly dumb. I don't know how many times I have to tell Wargaming to balance this tank, and they just refuse to. So we take a look at the post-game results. There you go. Almost double the next highest on our team, and actually was over double the highest. But either way, let's do another game. See if the Yo can keep it up. Now, not every game you play in the Yo is amazing. I should clarify that right now. Every now and then you have a battle where your gun misses some shots and you get YOLO'd, right? I mean, there's not much you can do about an autoloader YOLOing you when you've already shot your 2 shells. It doesn't happen commonly. Like, the Yo is one of my highest average damage tanks in tier 10. And on my press account, I'm easily averaging over 4,000 damage in this vehicle. But that's not to say that there are the occasional game where you do porn it, right? If you think to yourself, oh, I can get away with whatever I want, that's not going to happen. The Yo is a very weak hull. The side armor is incredibly easy to pen with high explosive if you're at a flat angle, especially with higher caliber guns. The back of the turret is an easy high explosive pen, and while the turret is pretty strong, it does have 2 Elmo ears sticking out on the top. So it's not the hardest tank to penetrate. It's a troll tank, but it's not the hardest. So if you play this thing over aggressive, it's very common to bleed your health faster than you would want. But what's nice is that even if you do bleed your health, you only have to poke for 1.7 seconds to deal 1,000 damage. I just find it hilarious that people still think the 183 is the most dangerous tank when they can get a heavy with 2,400 health, 10 degrees of gun depression, decent mobility, and a gun that does basically the same damage as a 183, 50 damage less than an AP pen, with none of the downsides. It's pretty funny, but that just shows how illiterate some of the player base are. So we got the 121 on the side, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to put on my reticle Cali, even on the side of the Type 71 turret. There's 1, there's 2, and that's 900 health, and we back up. There you go. Just like that, Type 71's down to half health. We reload, 13 seconds, we get another 2 shells, and we do it all again. This is why I am running vents on the tank. I don't know why. It gives me like an extra 90 DPM, which isn't really a huge amount, but it's kind of funny to mess around with the tank with the increased DPM. We have the Rhino. There's 409. Aw, shell went low. I did aim a little bit lower than I wanted to there. But it's fine. We still took 400 health off the Rhino. I'm not really sure what this Type 71's plan is here, but I don't really care. I mean, you can drive all the way over, dude. I have 10 degrees. There's no way you're going to be able to counter me, and you just overpoked to my STB, which shot you. So I'm not sure why you would make that play, what the thought process is behind it. But yeah, let me overpoke now. Let's see how my overpoke works for us. There's... Oh, what is that RNG, bruh? Just aiming on his lower plate. There you go. A Kron is camping in their spawn. Wow. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, but it is pretty tragic to see that. Alright, well, if the Kron's back there, let's pretend like I'm going to drive over the ridge, and let's see if that Kron will shoot at me. Come on, shoot at me, Kron. Come on, shoot at me. I'm going to pretend... There you go. Nice. That's exactly what I wanted, because then I can aim it on this Kron and pen him once. Not bad. We only penned 1 out of the 2. But we haven't bled too much health. We're up to 2,200 damage. I'm definitely in an awkward spot, though, because we got the 1-2-1 over poking over here, and that's going to put our E3 down quite a bit of his effective hit points. Yeah, Type, you want to do that? There's 1 pen into the Type, 2 pens into the Type, and they're out of the game. Alright, now I'm going to try and help my E3, so I'm going to hold this as best as I can. We're up to 2,800 damage already. We have the 183 in the back as well, so that's nice. I still have to wait 5 more seconds for my shots. Oh, this is not good. This is not good. Alright, we have the 1-2-1 over here, which shoots me, but in return we get 1, we get 2, that's 913 health off that player, and now we back up. So far, we're doing pretty half-decent. Unfortunately, I am lacking in the teammate department, but with the Rhino driving over the ridge, that was a bad play on their part, if you ask me. I'm going to chill right here. We're going to reload. And let's see, there's the 1-2-1, there's 477, and they're out of the game. There you go. Okay, I'm cooked. There's nothing I can do about a 116, especially with the auto-reloading gun. Doesn't matter how good you are at Blitz. When your team sucks this bad, you're cooked. I don't know how we have an E3 that loses to a Rhino. All the E3 had to do was hold that flank while I held the upper part, bled out the enemy, and we won. Our STB also should have stayed covering the upper part of the hill, but honestly, I don't think it would have mattered. This team completely fell apart from start to finish. The Yo did not. The Yo did a great job. The damage output we achieved in this game was fantastic. We probably did, over 4,000 damage. Again, we blocked 1,600, and we dominated every single position that we were in. I mean, as I said, when you have an E3 that can't understand how to use their armor, you're going to lose. That's as simple as it is. But, oh well. Let's do one last game in the M6 show and see if we can get another victory. I don't really care if I lose. This is why I play in my press account nowadays, because I don't have the emotion tied to losing or gaining win rate on my main account. I can just play the game, have fun in the tanks, and showcase their capabilities without having a sour face on. So here we are, final battle, Vineyards. Up against us we have a Marat, STB, 62A, that's 3 mediums. They have 1 heavy. 2 heavies. They have a Super Conk and an E100. Okay. And then they have an E3 and a 4005. Alright. Well, we have that same STB from the previous game. I'm going to move towards mid, and we'll see how that works out for us. Going up against a Super Conqueror, it's definitely going to be a bit lame, especially because I'm pretty confident that Super Conk will probably end up driving their tank towards mid-hill. But because we have so many mediums, I can play rather aggressive in mid. Oh, okay, the STB's playing really aggressive. That's an interesting maneuver there. But yeah, because we have so many mediums, I don't need to worry too much about playing aggressive over here. See how that actually ends up working out for us. Let's see. Is there anybody here? Hello. Interesting. Not seeing anybody here. I don't think their heavies are going to cross this way, so what that means is that their heavies are probably over towards this side of the map here. Alright, let's see. There's an E100. There's the Super Conk. Let's put on my Reticle Cali. Let's get a pen into the enemy Super Conqueror once. It's not bad. And, okay. Oh, they just have a 4005 there. Alright. Not like I could have ever spotted the 4005, even if I wanted to, until he shot me. It's okay, though, because we're already up to a 900 chunk of damage here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to play smart. We're going to cross so that we can get hull down against this STB. So we're going to move over here. There you go. Let's see, is that 4005 still in the back? Oh, there you go. There they are. I love how I can't spot that 4005 from that distance, because that's what Wargaming has done. They've allowed tank destroyers to have so much camo that there's physically no way to actually counter them. Yeah, okay, STB. This game's cooked, once again. We're going to aim it on the Super Conk side, and we do get a 496 pen. Let's just hope that our E3 is able to... Nah, I mean, look at it. We're done. We're done, because the STB is going to die, and once the STB dies, all of the... You know, our Leopard completely bailed on the rest of our team, so that player's cooked. So, it's just the E3 now and the STB, so I have to head over this way. There you go. Let's see. Our team's still trying to kill an AFK E100, though. Don't worry, they're doing great. There's one, 479. There's two. That's still half of that STB's health gone. I mean, think about that. We literally just took half of that STB away, just like that. That's insane what this thing does. You know what? This is still winnable. It is totally still winnable. We are going to reload. And there you go. The E100's dead. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive up this ridge over here. I'm going to aim it on the 4005. There's one pen, two pens. We low rolled massively. And that actually really, really irritates me. Because that 4005 should be dead right now. And because we low rolled, that guy's going to live. That's really annoying. It's fine, but like... That 4005 being alive is going to be able to still stop the rest of our team from making plays here. Which shouldn't be the case. Okay, we're going to aim it on the side of the E3. There's 460, and there you go, 79, clearing that player out of the game. We have the STB on us. I'm going to pretend like I have shells and try to push the STB off the hill. Okay, nice. There you go, STB's off. We got to wait a little bit longer. And what I think the best play is right now is to maybe dig wide over here. We have a full health 4005, so it's not like we're in a bad spot. What I want to do is I want to get this STB out of the game, and I think the best way to do that is to drive over here like this. Oh, there's the 4005. Goodbye. I cannot believe that 4005 hit us first. Our 4005 needs to just grow a pair and go. Like, he's full health. It's a two-shot 62A who's going to try and YOLO me. Good job, 4005. That was really helpful, my dude. Alright, we're going to move over here. There you go. 62 gets shot once. And there you go. They are dead. Alright, nice. This is now a totally winnable game. Alright, let's see. Gonna continue backing up this way. And are you kidding me? That shell should not have missed. You guys saw that. That shell should not have missed. That was an incredibly easy shot that I got completely screwed over on there. Now, the good news is that I don't really think our 4005 can throw this game. No. 4005 is going to aim it on the rear of the STB, and we still get the victory. So, it was totally fine. Our 4005 needed to push way sooner. All there was on the enemy team was an STB who wasn't a threat, and the 62A who was going to try and YOLO me, and our 4005 took that long to make a play against him. Thankfully, they did, so not a bad job from this player, and I guess for 48%, that's fine, but definitely would have expected that player to have pushed up and supported me sooner. But there you go, 3,700 damage. We definitely brought this game back. That shot on the side of the STB was pretty bogus, though. Especially, also, the only reason we died, as I said, we low-rolled that 4005, 840 damage, which then required me to shoot him again, and he was able to shoot me in return when I did that, which then brought me down to a one-shot for the STB. You can see how literally losing health due to low rolls can throw an entire game. I've said it so many times in the past, you should not be able to low roll kill shots. It really annoys me when you sacrifice your HP or you make a play to kill somebody and then the game says, nah, you're going to low roll 60 out of the 900 damage that you're supposed to deal, and this guy's going to get to live, and now you got to bleed more health to kill him? Like, really? That just really irritates me. But that's sometimes the way Blitz works. But if we go to the end of this game, is it going to crash? Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Here we are. Let's see. So I drive up the ridge now. Oh, well, whatever. I'm not going to bother playing it again. Either way, every single game we played in the M6 show was fine. The lowest damage we did was 3,756, and even then, that was still a really, really easy chunk of damage. The M6 Yo is just truly a crazy tank. The level of damage output it has, the accuracy being surprisingly good, and the fact that the gun just deals so much in so little time is why I will always consider this to be the most overpowered tier 10 It really is. And I don't understand why Wargaming refuses to nerf the intraclip of this gun. Listen, if they don't nerf it, I'm not going to complain, because not many people drive this tank, and it's a vehicle that I have fun playing in. But I think it's so foolish from Wargaming to try and rebalance all the tier 10s and say, oh, we're fixing the autoloader meta. But arguably one of the dumbest autoloaders of them all still gets to stay the same. I don't get it. I've been saying this for years, since it was released, and here we are, 5 years later, and it's still just as dumb as ever. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.